The following program is rated MA and may contain themes that may not be appropriate for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hip-hop, trendsetters, the school of hard knocks and that attitude ever. Yeah, I just wanted to be one of the best. Holding the mic as I'm yelling out D-Generation X. I will remember it. I never forget it. We come a pretty long way. There's so much I can say. It's never really gone away.
Once again, it's Monday night, and that just means one thing. The Raw Patrol is on the prowl, and we are on duty. Prodigal tactics? That's right. We got an abundance of great matches here tonight. My name is Chris Parrish, alongside OM Dynamic and Chris Best. Guys, how are you doing today?
Doing very, very well. I've had a great day. For a holiday, I still had a relatively busy day. I had breakfast with my sister, got some groceries done, and even got to speak with my son today. And I'm just excited for this show. We've got a big night ahead of us.
Yeah, for me, it was just a chill day, but I did a lot of editing. So looking forward to just kicking back and watching the Raw Patrol or watching Raw tonight.
Awesome stuff. And just as a quick reminder, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, Kick, or Twitch, those are the 4 platforms we are streaming. So make sure you hit that like, follow, subscribe button. Hit that notification bell button if you're over on YouTube in case you want to know when Turnbuckle Studios goes live. Also, please make sure you go and check out turnbucklestudios.org, our official website. It's just the place to get all the information and all the stuff that is Turnbuckle Studios related.
We recap what happened last week there with the acknowledgement ceremony and how quickly that fell apart between Roman Reigns and Jabob Fatu.
I mean, we knew right off the bat that was going to devolve right away into what it became.
Do we see these guys
knew, like,
having
right
a
away
match?
Jacob was not going to acknowledge Roman.
No. Do we see this match potentially getting added to Clash in Italy, or do we wait on this and let Cody and Gunther have their moment?
I can see this being a Clash Italy.
Yeah,
Definitely
me too.
add that firepower, add that selling feature to it. Doesn't hurt to have 2 main events or a co-main event here on a show.
I guess Roman doesn't travel with his world heavyweight title.
And already Adam Pearce is telling Roman Reigns, if you just listened to me last week, none of that would have happened.
As we hear Jabob Fatu's music hit, and he is kicking off the show, as Roman Reigns told Adam Pearce, I just need a few minutes and you need to let me handle my business first.
Well, and Adam Pearce wanted to fire Jabob Fatu, but it's Roman Reigns that kind of almost interfered on that.
Yeah.
The levels of tape on that left hand for Jacob Fatu just adds up over the weeks.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, Raw tonight comes to us from Horseman Country in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah, it's a city that's steeped in pro wrestling history.
Jacob Fatu has a microphone. He's about to embark his history to the fans of Greensboro.
Yeah. Jacob's not waiting, but right now the Usos are on their way out.
Jay has that steel chair. Jimmy has the microphone. We got to remember, it wasn't just Roman Reigns that Jacob Fatu took out last week. It was both members of the Usos. I mean, given how this is setting up, do we not have Jacob Fatu versus Jey Uso instead?
We could have that later tonight.
Jimmy speaking a little bit of common sense to Jacob Fatu and be like, you're always choosing the wrong path to go down. Instead of choosing to acknowledge Roman Reigns after you lost at Backlash, you put your hands on officials, and now they want to fire you. And Jay trying to get that shot in with the chair, but Jacob's the first one to the punch. Now we see the Tongan death grip on Jimmy.
Jay using that chair, and
that chair shot had no effect on Jacob.
Now a Tongan death grip on Jay.
And does Jacob let go when Roman's music hits? Yep.
I think Jacob could have had a little bit more time to execute the maneuver, since it's going to take Roman about 10 minutes to get to the ring.
Yeah, but I think what Jacob Fatu was doing was using that as a pawn to make sure that he's getting Roman out.
Yeah.
And although it is the slow walk, Roman not really wasting a lot of time. He didn't do the pomp and circumstance at the top of the ramp that he is known for.
No, he is walking with a purpose. His eyes are locked on the eyes of Jacob Fatu. We got that stare down now. This is going to be absolute wild chaos that Adam Pearce, he's already said that he wants on his show, but when it happens, he's always trying to prevent it. And once again, a Superman punch into a Tongan death grip as Jay is in with some super kicks, but Tongan grip stays. Both Usos now finally get a hold on to Jabob Fatu and
hit the 1D.
But what does this say? 3 men have to come together to take down Jabob Fatu. And it just shows you how vulnerable Roman Reigns can be by himself.
And look how quickly Jacob is back to his feet.
As both Jimmy and Jay tie the hands in the top and middle rope. Jabob Fatu is tied in the corner. And Roman Reigns finally gets that Superman punch in on Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time, Roman and the Usos are actually getting the better of Jabob Fatu.
They may have just found a chink in Jacob's armor.
But what does this say about Roman Reigns and his inability to get it done by himself? Now, he did get the win in Backlash, but he had to result of an exposed turnbuckle to get the job done. When it came down to a fair fight, it was not going his way. Now, without the help of his cousins and Jimmy and Jay, Roman Reigns would not be where he is right now, and that is walking away.
Yeah.
But are we going to see them have to make a beeline back to the ring here? Because it looks like Jacob is starting to stir. But no, now we have Adam Pearce out here.
I think this is where we're going to get the announcement that they're going to have that match at Clash in Italy.
Well, Jacob said, fire him, do what you have to do. Adam said, with pleasure. But then Jacob cuts off Adam Pearce.
And he wants tribal combat.
I think Roman's going to block the microphone from Adam Pearce.
Yeah, he is.
Just whispers to Jimmy, I have to do this. And then accepts the tribal combat challenge.
Well, I mean, remember the last time we saw tribal combat, it was Roman Reigns versus Jay, and that was Jimmy's return.
And Michael Cole said he's going to have to go into tribal combat for himself. And Corey Graves responded, does he?
Yeah. Because in tribal combat, there's no disqualification. There's no count out.
That's right.
So this plays right up Roman's alley.
It does, but does Jacob have somebody lurking in the background? Is this where we potentially get, as we have speculated, the Usos turning on Roman?
Seth Rollins is in the house. Can only presume he is very intrigued on getting some payback on the Vision, but his relationship with Montez Ford and the Street Profits are one that he has to have in the back of his head. And we still have Oba Femi Open Challenge, as well as Paige and Brie Bella defend their women's tag team titles against Roxanne Periz and Raquel Rodriguez out of the Judgment Day.
Yes, as we do see the Judgment Day making their way into the building, both Liv and Dom with their belts on backwards.
Now we have a little bit of a backstage vignette with Finn Balor talking about just how close JD McDonough is, till we find out that it's a vignette featuring both of them.
Yeah, because they're going to be in action against one another next.
Okay, I'm going to say this is, can this give us the finality on all of this, please? As much as I love both Finn and JD, this is a match that I don't need to see again for a while after tonight.
Well, it might be, considering the next match is a street fight.
And just on that, Finn Balor is on his way out.
And for a street fight, I figured we would see JD take advantage of Finn during the intro, and we don't see that yet.
Now we do see Finn Balor getting his entrance in.
Is this a situation, though, where when JD's music hits and Finn's looking up the entranceway, do we see JD sneaking in the back door to get that sneak attack?
Yeah. Maybe we get Dom Mysterio walk out and then JD attacks him from behind. Yeah. Could be.
Mm-hmm.
As Monday Night Raw goes to its first ad of the evening, so will we. As we were talking JD McDonough and Finn Balor, and they like to say how back in the day they like to help each other. And well, we're no strangers to help, but we do welcome it. So check this out.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today, because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. And if you have ever wanted your break-in podcasting content creation or to help us behind the scenes, hit that join button. Email us your credentials. Tell us how you think you can help us, how you believe we can help you. We will sit down as a collective and find the right fit. All of this and so much more at turnbucklestudios.org.
I got to think, with the street fight there, could we be looking at one of those attempts out of Dom Mysterio to get involved, really get into Finn Balor's head? As we know, that's not over just yet between the two of them.
No,
I get a
it's not.
feeling this
You're
whole
right.
thing is going to. I feel like this whole thing is going to build to the AAA pay per view at the end of the month.
I don't think it's going to build to the AAA PLE just because you've already got the mask versus mask match, and I believe that is going to be your main event. But I do not think that Finn and Dom are done. I think that that is going to come down to the AAA Mega Championship, or it's going to be something where either one of them are going to have to give up something. So Finn will have to move to SmackDown and Dom puts the title on the line, something like that.
Monday night. Raw returns back from its little and we are about to kick off the match between JD McDonough and Finn Balor.
Javon Evans was born and raised in Greensboro, North Carolina, so maybe expect something out of him tonight. I mean, you kind of have to with the whole Intercontinental title situation.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a tag match with Penta and Javon against Rusev and Ethan Page.
Yeah. Finn in control early on the outside, looking for that kendo stick.
And looking for 3 of
Or
them.
more.
Well,
4 of them.
there is no time to waste when there's a street fight and there's 2 Irishmen going at it.
Yep.
Now, if Dom gets involved, as we all expect he will, would this be the ideal time for a guy like Sheamus to return to help out another fellow Irishman in Finn Balor?
Maybe.
I suppose you could. I mean, it gives something fresh, a possible fresh feud for Dom or even JD.
I mean, again, we do have the Oba Femi Open Challenge.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that one Bobby Stats would love to see Sheamus answer that one.
Yes. Or Bronson Reed.
But I think the question is, are they even ready to return?
Right.
That we just don't know.
I think Sheamus is probably closer than Bronson.
I really love this aggressive side of Finn Balor we've been seeing since his breakaway from the Judgment Day.
Yeah, this is Judgment Day Finn Balor translated into the babyface. We are seeing the demon side of Finn Balor come out without the paint.
That dive, man.
Right?
Aaron
And I
McDonough
always-
is fully off and ready for flight.
Yep. I was going to say, I fear for JD every time he's diving out towards the announce table now.
In
He
that
wasn't
sense,
going
though,
right first.
Yeah, in that sense, though, I kind of feared for Finn. His head almost hit the corner of that table on the way down.
Finn has had control for the majority of this matchup so far, and anytime JD starts to build a little bit of momentum, Finn is right there to counter it.
That's the experience of Finn Balor coming into play versus JD's experience. Because if you look at this, I mean, Finn was JD's trainer, and Finn has quite a few more years on JD. But I think that these matches that JD has been having with Finn have been more so designed to showcase what JD can do on his own.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily on his own, because we know that when the Judgment Day is involved in anything involving no rules, they're going to be hanging around.
That's right.
And the question is if we see somebody like Dom and Liv get involved, could we even see a Stephanie Vacure come in, as there's been reports saying she might be ahead of schedule, and we might see her as early as even this week.
Yes.
So time will tell if that's true or not, but gotta also keep it out there, because we know that story with Liv and Stephanie is far from over.
Yep. And already JD going for the announce table.
Finn just getting that leg sweep of JD on the announce table and then going to town with that kendo stick. Now is setting up a table.
Oh, smart move there by JD, using the camera cord to capture Finn's ankle and sweep him on the hardest part of the ring.
But not just that, going around the ankle of there, making sure that he's putting all the whip on that ankle could really hurt Finn Balor as he attempts to do a coup de grace in the future. So
yes,
very smart move targeting the ankles of Finn Balor.
I mean, doing something like that, if you yank hard enough, it's easily going to lead to a sprain on the ankle for sure.
Yep.
Do want to let everybody know that Turnbuckle Studios is now on Discord. So if you want to hit that below link that's traveling across your screen, that is your direct invite to join you, Turnbuckle Studios, on Discord.
And now Finn Balor basically taking some batting practice on JD with that chair.
Looked like he was going to have a little bit of remorse for JD there. But JD turns it around and hits him with the Uranagi and then that standing moonsault to try and pin him on the chair.
And I think you're right, OMD. It seems that no matter every time that JD has mounted some kind of offense, Finn's just got an answer right back for him.
As we see that shotgun drop kick through the table.
That's usually a great initial move right before that coup de grace. So incoming JD's in the drop zone for Michael Cole. JD gets out of the coup de grace, hits a running knee strike, followed by a power bomb that only gets him a 2 count.
Then he hits that moonsault from the top rope.
By the way, this is a fantastic opening matchup here. I mean, what a great way to start the night, a street fight between these two men.
Right?
And even though this is a street fight, you know both men desperately want to get that fall and want to beat the other one. We talked about the history and the mentorship and the protege approach. I think we're kind of past that, but we can't get further from the fact that both men, who were both members of Judgment Day, now are fighting against each other.
Yes.
Would love to have that win over one another.
And to this point in the match, we have not seen or heard from the other members of the Judgment Day. How soon does that happen? We know that the last time they faced off, we saw Roxanne Periz come down and look absolutely stoic at ringside before Liv and Raquel came out. And then when Liv got tossed, Roxanne hit Finn with that ring bell hammer.
Yeah, this is the rubber match between the two, so it'll be pretty much whoever wins this, I think, is going to be the one that can move on. But like you said, we have seen Judgment Day be the reason why JD has won.
And that superplex through the table, both men down. JD seems to be a little worse for wear, but crawling for that cover.
Because if we're being fair here, JD went through the table. Finn didn't. Yeah, Finn halfway went through the table.
Yeah. And Dom now looking under the ring for some plunder for his boy JD.
Yeah, that overhead view gave us a great shot of JD actually signaling for it too. And now Dom has thrown 2 garbage cans, but they tend to be closer to Finn Balor than they are JD McDonough.
Yes, but Dom in the ring now. And both he and JD have the trash can.
And now we have seen that 2-on-1. As this match has really broken down.
Yes, Finn able to counter and put JD into harm's way for that 619. And that shotgun drop kick again with JD in the garbage can.
And now he's going to get the coup de grace while he's in the trash can.
Finn using that experience of his to withstand the 2-on-1.
And Finn picks up the victory.
Finally pull off the victory.
Oh, I'm sorry, with you both saying it. Who won?
Finn Balor.
I believe Dom actually won.
You have to wonder. You kind of almost want Dom to interfere because every time he seems to interfere, whoever he's helping out tends to lose.
Maybe he's the next one who gets the boot from the Judgment Day.
Oh, see the blood on the garbage can there. I believe that blood came from Finn Balor's lower lip.
He's also got a big cut on his back, too. But I got to wonder, I think this might all lead to a cage match against Dom. Because, I mean, the point of a cage match is to keep the wrestlers in. But in this case, it might be a point to keep the Judgment Day out.
Well, now we're going back to last week with the 6-man tag. So we saw Seth Rollins get involved and help the Street Profits pick up the win.
Yes, but then we also saw, as Seth helped Angelo Dawkins to his feet, he got out of the way, and Dawkins had to eat that spear from Braun Breaker, forcing Montez Ford into his face.
And I got to wonder if they're going to hash out their differences tonight.
Well, some tells me that this is not going to be a 1-week fix.
I wonder if this is going to lead to a 6-man tag, maybe with Seth and the Street Profits up against the Vision.
I think this probably brings out Bronson Reed. And with the inclusion of Joe Hendry in this, I'm thinking they need that assistance. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if that's where maybe they go back to an LA Knight instead of choosing Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins saying, I haven't had a match on Raw in 9 months. So let's change that.
Challenging any member of the Vision. Could this be where Bronson Reed makes his return?
No. You're not going to waste that on a Monday Night Raw. You can do that at
Why
a
not?
PLE, man. Something tells me this is going to be Logan Paul.
And although Seth said it's any member of the Vision, he is speaking directly to Braun Breaker. And this will be your main event for the night as well.
Now, I
When you
will
turn that
say,
challenge
I don't think.
specifically to Braun Breaker.
Yes, OMD pointed that one out. I will say, I just don't think this will be the in-ring return of Bronson Reed.
No.
But as we get now an Oba Femi, quick little advertisement. We know the Oba Femi challenge, or an open challenge, is coming up pretty soon, if not next. But let's take you to a place where it doesn't matter if you're next, doesn't matter if you're first. All that matters is that you're there and you're checking out all of the goodies that you can find on our beautiful, beautiful shop. So go ahead, indulge yourself.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. And we want you to visit our shop, powered by redbubble.com. Support your favorite shows and your favorite podcasters. Wear what we wear. And all of those proceeds come back into our studios to bring you a better experience. All of this and more at turnbucklestudios.org.
And just to add to that, if by chance you do purchase something from Turnbuckle Studios shop, make sure that you send us a picture, whether it's a t-shirt, whatever the case may be. And we might just use that with your permission to be a part of a new advertisement video. We will use your picture to showcase our products. And we'll give you a shout out on a show. I mean, now we have a little bit of a video about Sol Ruka, and I've heard the narrative that Sol Ruka, since she's 0-2 on the main roster, they're wasting Sol Ruka. But I mean, she went toe-to-toe with the new champion and Liv Morgan on her debut and got outsmarted by one of the best in-ring workers in Io Sky. I don't think that is at all anything to hold any shade about, and I don't think you're being wasted when you're in the ring with some of the best in the game.
No.
But I will ask the question, is Sol Ruka desperate to pick up that first win?
I'm going to say no. You touched on it there, and I asked this question last night on the Locker Room Breakdown. You look at who she's been in the ring with. Liv Morgan in her debut match. That match with Io Sky last week absolutely stole the show. And then she's been confronted by Becky Lynch. Yes, it's not going to hurt her to get a victory, but it's not hindering her when you look at the level of competition that she is having to step up to already.
Yeah, and I mean, her first real program seems to be against Becky. So at least that's where I think we're going after Becky, or I mean, Sol Ruka hit the Soul Snatcher on her a couple weeks back. And there's Becky herself.
Becky Lynch is saying Sol Ruka's telling lies. That she's saying she's faced the best, but has not faced her yet. Well, Becky Lynch just told her, you don't belong here. You should just go back to NXT. And Sol Ruka said, you're right. You make some good points. I am going to go, as she leaves. And then Becky, as she's running her mouth about this generation and how they give up so easily, Sol Ruka's music hits, and now she's in the ring.
Is that going to be the theme of tonight? Wrestlers interrupting backstage interviews with their entrances?
I think so. And is this going to be Sol issuing a challenge to Becky Lynch for that Intercontinental Championship?
I hope it's just a match. And then if she does win, then she gets a shot at the Intercontinental title.
And there she goes, calling up the man, Becky Lynch.
And if you're Becky Lynch, you got to be a little bit on the shock side because you thought you're getting somewhere with Sol, but really, you're getting a little bit of unpredictability out of Sol Ruka. So if you're Becky Lynch, you might not have a full read on her just yet. And there you go, a challenge from Sol Ruka to Becky Lynch. And then Becky Lynch says, no. And Becky does what she does best. Get the crowd against her, and then annoy her opponent by putting herself over. Becky Lynch saying she doesn't pride herself on the accolades. She prides herself on being a locker room leader. We have Bobby Stats coming in saying hello to the three of us. Hello, Bobby. How are you doing? And thank you for liking the video on YouTube. And it's that simple, people. All you have to do is just hit a like. It's just a click of a button. Becky's saying she's just not a star maker. She's a star breaker.
And we are going to get the match between them at Saturday night's main event.
As we get the match made for Saturday night's main event, Soul saying she will not only snatch the soul, but she will snatch the title from Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch saying nobody said anything about this title being on the line, and that she is the prize, not the title.
I mean, I have no problem with this match, but I would be a little bit on the what has Sol Ruca done to earn a title match?
Yeah.
And if she beats Becky this Saturday, there's your answer right there.
Yes, I know, but I'm just saying there's no reason why she should just get one right away.
Yeah.
Bobby Stats coming in saying NXT wrestler Nikita Lyon wrestled on main event before Raw against Maxine Dupree. And Maxine Dupree has been in the news lately as she was seen riding off with the Vision last week. So what does Maxine have to say about that? As Club WWE gives you discounts on all the merchandise in WWE, because that is where you're going to get your retro graphic t-shirts that actually showcase the right people. Yes, we have been aware of what we've seen online, and funny, but embarrassing. Braun Breaker is telling Paul Heyman to make the match.
It's going to be Seth and Austin Theory, though.
Because Braun Breaker is not exactly thrilled about it. And Paul Heyman's telling Braun Breaker that the reason why he's picking Austin Theory is now that Braun knows where Seth Rollins will be. And it's just a little learning lesson that Paul Heyman is giving out. to Braun Breaker.
As we prepare for 6-man tag team action as the original El Grande Americano and Los Americanos Hermanos are making their way to the ring to take on Los Americanos and El Grande Americano.
And don't worry, everyone. If you're confused, so is Adam Pearce, as he said verbatim in his video on his channel that he's also confused. And Bobby, we appreciate that, the fact that you subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch. We're now hitting numbers of 221 subscribers on YouTube, and we are just a few followers away on Twitch from our goal.
And Bobby, I want to give you a shout out here too, not only for everything you do for us, but for your medal that you got over the weekend in your choir. I don't know if it was a competition or what the situation was, but congratulations to you.
Looks like Los Americanos on this side are a little on the awkward side about wearing those masks. Doesn't look fully tied up.
Mm-hmm.
I know it might appear that way, but I don't think they were designed for their heads like most masks are.
As we are seeing at the bottom of our screen for the first ever 2-night AAA Triple Mania coming to us September 11th and 13th with a night off in between. And the location for September 11th is to be determined, with the night September 13th in Mexico City. As Bobby tells us, it was for participation for a choir concert for special needs individuals.
And El Grande Americano sporting Parrish's favorite colors, black and gold.
Hey, I didn't say they were my favorite colors. I'm just saying it's a great color combination.
That's true.
As I will also say, they were undefeated against the red and black color combination on SmackDown.
Yes, they were.
Yep.
Yeah.
As we prep for this 6-man tag, and we saw this match a couple of weeks ago, we do know that the two El Grande Americanos are facing off on May 30th at AAA Noches de las Grandes 4 in a mask versus mask match. This, I do believe, is going to be our main event.
What's crazy to me is just how long this has truly gone.
Right.
Almost 2-year story on this character, and we're finally just going to find out who the imposter is. Do you want to let everybody know this is a trios tornado match, whereas we don't necessarily need tags in this match.
No. Which this was information I did not have last night on the Wrestling Recap.
Well, I will always say this is why you got to always watch Adam Pearce's socials on Sundays, because he will put out information about the upcoming Raw.
And if I'm not mistaken, this match actually was announced last week on Raw. But I did find the whereabouts of the Creed brothers. They're in Mexico. They're in Mexico in AAA. And I think they're down there trying to find Chad Gable.
Oh,
because who knows where he's been lately,
right?
Well, Chad Gable has been shown working out over the past while too, getting completely jacked.
Well, and I do know that Los Americanos, Hermanos, their names are Benito. There is Benito and Julio.
It is quite intriguing that we do have a character named El Grande Americano, yet only one of them actually wears the colors of the United States.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we've seen the black and gold Americano wear the colors of the Mexican flag. We've seen him. Mm-hmm. We've seen him wear the U.S. colors a few times, but
and what exactly is the logo on his singlet?
Just looks like a V. You. V for Vendetta.
I was going to say that's the old jersey combination for the ancient hockey team, the Vancouver Millionaires.
It's also the Roman numeral for 5.
Touche.
But just takes me to that scene in it's like, congratulations, you're stupid, in 5 languages. And also, if they are Los Americanos, Bravo and Rail also do not wear anything American.
No, but I gotta say, I do like their upgrading gear, because when they first started, they just wore the plain red for Rail, plain blue for Bravo.
I mean, kudos to them. They really go out of their way to make sure you remember their names and how to tell them apart. But Julio, what strength, as he was able to pick up Rayo in a suplex just from a sitting down position, stand up, and then deliver that suplex.
Yes, but then you look at Rayo able to deliver that sunset flip power bomb from the top rope.
But Bruto with the power, that's his name, Bruto, not Benito.
I'm sure in a different language they mean the same.
It could be.
And there's the original El Grande Americano taking El Grande Americano onto his shoulders, all for Rayo and Bravo to come in and make the save.
So now we have Rayo, we have Bravo, and El Grande Americano. Triple teaming El Grande Americano original.
Look at that feat of strength from the original El Grande Americano.
And then a hell of an over the head throw from El Grande Americano original.
This match is just pure carnage.
This is just fun to watch this match.
Bubba doesn't know what he's missing tonight.
Oh, we'll tell him, and we'll get him to watch the match. And you know he will, because he loves Lucha Libre wrestling.
Yes, he does.
When was the last time you saw a 6-person match on Raw featuring 6 masked wrestlers?
It might have been back in the late 90s when WWE had that very brief partnership with AAA.
Yeah.
So needless to say, almost.
And I believe
30
Los Conquistadors were in that match.
No, they
But there
weren't.
was only 2 of them.
But yeah, almost 30 years, because we're looking at like that partnership was back in like 97, I think. Oh, and now they all got that thing for their mask. That metal plate. That was
what
awesome.
a triple German suplex from Los Americanos Hermanos. As all 3.
We got 6 luchadors named after an American hitting a German suplex.
And a triple kick out.
I was just going to reference only in the World Wrestling Entertainment.
What a
And
poison
it's sure this
rana
match
there
is
from
hard
Rayo.
just to keep.
Sorry, Periz, you were saying?
I was just saying, in a trios match like this, it is hard to commentate on everything that is going on. As just when you're focused on 2 men, you go back to the ring and there's 4 other men going.
Right.
And just when that seems to slow down, the 2 men are back into the ring doing something. It's just nonstop.
We saw
I
El
think-
Grande Americano distract Original by throwing his cape into his face, and then the triple team to pick up the victory for Los Americanos.
Yeah, now what I was going to say about this match too is the one thing that that is missing from this matchup is something that I don't know if they still do it in AAA, but they used to have in these type of matches, they used to have 2 referees out there to monitor everything that was going on.
Yes, but you don't need 2 referees on Monday Night Raw.
Nope.
But I will say, we had a match where everyone was pretty much named the same as their opponent. We had El Grande Americano against El Grande Americano. We had Los Americanos against Los Americanos. Pretty confusing stuff. We have whatever this is on our screen. What a guy.
Yeah, he's the master. He's the mascot for Whataburger.
Yes, as we had Paige and Brie Bella talking, getting ready for their tag team title defense. And then, yes, we got whatever that was with Otis and Tozawa.
So, as the song says, you're living in a land of confusion. You don't have to be confused with Turnbuckle Studios because we got you covered Sunday to Saturday with great content. So check out this.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday night, we are on call as the Raw Patrol is on duty at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday, we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursdays, we roam the jungle with the Boar's Nest at 9 p.m. Friday, we invite you to come for a ride with the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later in the day, the Locker Room presents Wrestling Recap delivers at 7 p.m. Always be aware that weekend shows can vary in times, as the PLE Patrol and other watch party streams are always a must-see. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day and watch all of the latest episodes on turnbucklestudios.org/shows. And please do not forget to drop a like, follow, and to subscribe to all of our channels, and when the time is right, all you have to do is tap in.
And ladies and gentlemen, once again, turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. And that is everything for you, everything we have for you each and every night of the week. And we want you to meet the team behind those shows. Chris Best, Chris Parrish, myself, Bubba Duke, Logan Thompson, and Carl Carafel. Go to the host section, click on our individual links, get our socials, and watch our latest weekly live episodic programming. All of that and more at turnbucklestudios.org.
Right before the break, we did see those women tag team champions, Paige and Brie Bella, talk. We know they have a big match against the Judgment Day later tonight. But the winner of that match will go on and defend those titles against Lash Legend and Nia Jax.
Yes.
Do we think we see the irresistible forces tonight on Raw, as they have already been on record saying they want that match to be against Brie Bella and Paige?
I think
I get a feeling that they are going to be there. I get a feeling that they are going to be there because they, as they did say on SmackDown, they want it to be Brie Bella and Paige. So I think they're going to be there to make sure Brie Bella and Paige are successful in their title defense tonight. But that's also going to raise the ire of the Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day is going to start targeting them too.
I do think they're going to be there because, as you guys both touched on, they want it to be against Paige and Brie Bella. But I also think that that's going to bring out Bayley and Lyra. And I do think that we are actually going to have the irresistible forces cost Paige and Brie Bella the tag team titles So I believe we are going to have new tag team champions tonight, but I also believe we're going to get a WrestleMania rematch at Saturday night's main event in terms of a fatal four-way.
What is the WrestleMania rematch?
Well, it would have been Bayley and Lyra versus the Irresistible Forces. That was Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. So this is going to be the Judgment Day versus Paige and Brie. So we're going to get a fatal four-way with Charlotte and Alexa being replaced by the Judgment Day.
We didn't have the Judgment Day in the WrestleMania match.
That's why I said Charlotte and Alexa are getting replaced by the Judgment Day.
Yeah. Well.
And there it is.
It is official.
Clash in Italy.
And I want them to actually choose on a time, because this is the fourth different time for Clash in Italy I've seen in the last 4 days.
It's at 2 p.m. Eastern.
I know. But then they had 11 p.m. Pacific, and I've seen it on 12 p.m. Pacific. I've seen it at 10 Pacific.
Jeez.
So that's what I'm just like, I'm happy with the time. Don't get me wrong. We will see no schedule conflicts on that weekend with the time we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not enjoying the fact I'm seeing different times. It's raising the heart levels, and I'm too old for this.
And it was even like 2 weeks ago. I saw a 1 p.m. time slot.
Whatever the situation may be, the PLE patrol will be on the scene.
Right. There will be no scheduling issues that weekend. So that is great. But given the fact that we have Saturday night main event this Saturday, Chris Best, do you know if there's going to be a scheduling change there?
There will not be a Saturday night gaming this weekend.
There you go. As we also see a new t-shirt for Jey Uso. So just keeping up that merch money. That is why Jey Uso is main event.
And making his return, LA Knight.
Yeah. Well, in case you thought that LA Knight was going to get future endeavored, look no further than your television screens, because he ain't futured, nor is he endeavored. He is right now, and he is present.
But I think he is endeavoring to get himself a match with either member of the Usos.
But the big question is, why the Usos? Why did LA Knight get in front of the Usos when we continuously seeing him oppose the Vision?
Because going into WrestleMania, he even said, look, we're on the same page right now, but if you're going back to this bloodline stuff, then we're going to have problems. The fact that we've seen the bloodline reuniting over the last few weeks, that's why he has an issue with it. So is LA Knight now potentially going to back up Jabob Fatu?
I think LA Knight's going to be in this. I think LA Knight's going to be in this on for his own personal gain.
We do have Michael Cole sitting down with the challenger of the Intercontinental Championship at Saturday night's main event, and All Ego Ethan Page. And I'm, for one, really in the mindset that we are going to be talking about Ethan Page as your new Intercontinental Champion.
I think I'm on that boat as well.
Gotta love that. The logical yet smarter approach from a mental side from Ethan Page. He doesn't go into these feuds emotionally charged. He goes into it with all venues sorted. I think Ethan Page is just a fresh of breath air in this division.
That's the thing I've always noticed when it comes to Ethan Page and entering championship matches. He seems cool, calm, and collected, like he's got everything in place to gain that championship.
Michael Cole singing the praises of Ethan Page, but says his ego is going to get the best of him. While Ethan Page says it's not ego, it's confidence. I already know I am one of the best in the business right now. And that's just it. A nickname isn't what you say yourself. It's what others give you. So while others may refer to him as all ego, he sees it as pure confidence.
And here come the Judgment Day for their women's tag team championship match.
And this Raw is flowing down as we are near an hour and a half, and it is a non-stop edition.
Right?
Yeah, everything's just flowing nicely. We're just going from one moment to the next, and that's kind of how it was even like way back in the day in the Attitude Era. It was just we got one match, we got that led into one moment, but we did always see back then an overarching storyline that told what was going to happen on that episode of Raw.
So, OM Dynamic, you are predicting new tag team champions here tonight?
I am.
All right. Chris Best, what is your prediction as we get our first title match of the night? And I believe only one as well.
I'm going to say that Brie and Paige retain, but via disqualification, because the irresistible forces show up.
All right.
And
we're going to open up to the chat. Who do you think is walking out your women's tag team champions as we await the arrival of the champions?
And again, I think that this is just going to raise the ire of the Judgment Day. And not only are they going to target the women's tag titles, but they are going to target Nia Jax and Lash Legend too.
I think that this really solidifies the Judgment Day for now. I know we've seen a lot of dissension, I guess, between Liv and Roxanne. I think that this match will re-solidify that for the time being, only for it to drastically fall apart later on. And I will still stand by it, the fact that I do believe Roxanne will be a women's world champion before the year is out.
Right. Now, Bobby coming in, predicting Paige and Brie Bella retain as well. I think that's exactly where I'm going with, but I'm going to go in a different direction. I do believe we're going to see Nia and Lash, but I think it's going to be more towards either the end or the aftermath. And right when we get maybe that odd woman beatdown, that is where we see Bela and Lyra, and they take out the Judgment Day. And then maybe next week we will see the Judgment Day versus Bailey and Lyra. And then that's where Liv Morgan gets involved. And then cue Stephanie Vecchier and her return.
Well, and I was going to suggest this because we do have Liv Morgan at ringside for this match. Does Stephanie Vecchier return here in this spot, or would this be again for the time for Nikki Bella to return?
Well, I think if you want to go with, if you want to go put Liv Morgan in a match at Clash in Italy, because I still think that the stuff with Stephanie is far from done. You got to have Stephanie show up tonight so you can start that or continue that build to the match, I should say.
Okay.
But at the same time, do we really know the extent of Stephanie's injury?
No.
I know she was supposed to miss. I know she was supposed to miss like 6 weeks.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been hearing, and I've heard the same thing, that Stephanie could return as early as tonight. But we also know that Nikki recently had ankle surgery, and she's recovered, and shit is due back anytime.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see Stephanie Vecchier before Nikki Bella.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's not forget that just because you're recovered from an ankle injury, that doesn't mean that you're fully ready to come back, because there's still like the in-ring training that needs to happen as well.
Well, normally in wrestling, if somebody is cleared, they've already concluded that training, and they have been cleared by the doctors after seeing you in a ring and making sure that being in the ring won't further give any extension to the injury time.
Yeah, it's sort of like hockey too, right? When doctors think that you're fine to get on the ice, they slowly have you doing different exercises until they feel that you're ready to join the team for that first game.
Was Roxanne Periz sporting her nickname Prodigy on her gear. I'm trying to make out the name on Raquel Rodriguez. I do believe I see the word bombshell, but I'm just trying to find out what the other word is.
Well, we know that a few weeks ago, Liv Morgan referred to Raquel as the king of the Judgment Day, but we haven't seen anything really representing that.
Getting a graphic, Michael Cole, play-by-play, Corey Graves, the analysis, Byron Saxton, and Kathy Kelly as your reporters as well, as your ring announcer. I like how they had that out there. It was Alicia Taylor, by the way, as she is back. There's no Lillian Garcia this week.
Brie going to try and knot up those hamstrings of Raquel Rodriguez.
Tiana Bombshell is what is on the gear of Raquel Rodriguez.
Roxanne Periz slapping the taste out of Brie Bella's mouth and then doing the yes chants.
Right after the nice, beautiful Hunter Hearst Helmsley type curtsy until she decided to do some yes chants and get the slap taste right out of her mouth. Paige is in the ring, and now we see almost the speed of the match pick up.
Paige going for that cannonball off the apron, but Raquel caught her and then does that swing into the barricade and then into the side of the ring and into that LED board.
Yeah, it looked like she smacked her head quite hard on the barricade there.
Yes, we are heading to another quick little TV timeout, or maybe Netflix timeout, we'll just say.
And now Roxanne throwing Paige into that barricade here while we are in this Netflix timeout.
And who in their right mind would have said going into 2026, at some point, we're going to see Roxanne Periz and Paige wrestle each other on a Monday Night Raw?
Right.
Yeah, at least for me, it felt like the Paige signing deal was kind of last minute. Like I think it was like about a week before the actual signing happened, I had heard that it was a possibility.
I didn't even hear anything about it.
Stories of Nikki Bella saying when she was in the hospital going over her ankle was at the same time Paige was getting evaluated to get her neck checked out just to give the clearance for WWE to allow her to compete in the ring.
Yes. And we heard Paige discuss the details behind her return at WrestleMania on the Stephanie McMahon podcast a few weeks ago, saying they needed to test her neck and make sure that that was healthy along with other issues.
On her podcast too, Nikki Bella did confirm other reports that it was Triple H who went up to her to ask her permission about Paige taking her spot. So the belief at that point was that if there was any reason to say no, we most likely would have seen the Kabuki Warriors enter the match.
And what a scoop slam there from Raquel Rodriguez as we are coming back from the Netflix timeout.
Gotta love it, right? You know, just a good block screen every now and then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you pay premium or not, you still get it because Netflix. Thank you for taking my money.
If I'm being perfectly honest, though, I kind of don't mind those black screens because if you watch the show, like let's say you watch tonight's Raw next week, you get some really weird cuts when they cut to the Netflix breaks.
Sure, but you can just keep it going live.
Yeah, but they don't. when
I
you
know.
watch it. When you watch it, so
That's what I'm saying. Like, they could just do the normal thing instead of doing the awkward thing.
Yeah.
mhm.
Brie getting that hot tag in. And what a neck breaker there from Brie Bella on Roxanne Perez. Oh. Brie Bella setting Roxanne into Raquel and then hitting a neck breaker, forcing Raquel to DDT her own tag team partner.
That was a bit of an innovative maneuver.
And Brie Bella stealing the Miz's it kicks.
Yeah, but I believe the Miz stole them from someone else.
No, they were a Miz original.
Yep.
And there's Liv Morgan up on the apron.
As we see Raquel Rodriguez set up Brie Bella, but Paige is getting involved.
A double power bomb.
I'm trying to wonder what was the point of that distraction from Liv Morgan.
Right?
I don't know why, but I thought for some reason Roxanne was heading for a 619 there.
I did too, actually.
I like the look on Jessica Carr's face. Like she's like, I know that was you.
Yeah, Liv Morgan getting tossed here by referee Jessica Carr.
But Liv is still providing enough of a distraction that Roxanne has the championship belt in her hand.
And Brie Bella rolls Roxanne Perez up as she was trying to go for the championship and catches her with the 1-2-3. As Brie Bella and Paige retain their tag team titles against the Judgment Day.
And there's Liv Morgan back attacking from behind because she hadn't even made it back to the locker room.
So I think minus Nia and Asher, we're just going to get probably Stephanie McGear now.
Oh, we are getting Bailey and Lyra.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, we do know that Bailey and Lyra and the Judgment Day have been kind of at each other's throats over the last few weeks.
Oh, what a Bailey to belly suplex there.
And that that drop kick to both women there from Lyra through the middle rope.
Well, and you have to know that both Bailey and Lyra do want to get another crack at those women tag team titles.
Bailey just pointed out to Paige and Brie, she's like, I got you, but I've got my eyes on those belts too.
Yep.
It's almost like if you're a women's champion, you're working a lot of overtime.
Yeah.
Well, and with their match coming up now this Saturday night, that's going to be 3 title defenses in 8 days for Paige and Brie Bella.
It just shows
Sounds exhausting if you ask me.
It just shows that they're fighting champions.
We've got Seth Rollins and LA Knight.
And once again, LA Knight is getting involved into something that he might not be ready to do by himself, whether it's vision business or whether it's, let's just say, tribal chief business.
Mm-hmm. Telling Seth you're going to need help, but you're not going to get it from me.
Yes.
LA Knight has left the building.
Yes.
It's funny that they say the word help. It's almost like they gotta go to turnbucklestudios.org/join. Right? It just seems like the logical thing to do.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And ladies and gentlemen, turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. And if you have ever wanted your break in podcasting, content creation, or to help us out behind the scenes, hit the join button at the website. Email us your creds. Tell us how you can help us, how you think we can help you, and we will sit down as a collective and find the right fit. All of that and so much more at turnbucklestudios.org.
So who do you guys have answering this open challenge?
For a second, I thought it was Los Americanos, but they're coming out to do a promo, and I'm like, why are they having two matches tonight? But I'm not sure right now who it could be.
I think that after what we saw happen last week with Los Garza, I think we need somebody from AAA to come in and step up.
Also, I didn't want to brag earlier, but Bess, you did mention about the color combination of El Grande Americano.
Mm-hmm.
He was victorious. Just giving you guys more understanding that those are a winning color combo.
We'll see this season. We will.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what I do.
Bobby guessing La Parca from AAA to answer the open challenge.
Well, you said somebody from AAA, and I went to almost.
Okay. I could
talk
see
about
that.
Talk about a big guy who needs to step up.
Yeah.
We've been hearing a familiar name in potential returning things, and that is one Bishop Dyer, aka Baron Corbin.
Yes.
If that is to happen, would Baron Corbin be a good name for Oba Femi Challenge?
I do like that. I do like that match combo. But I have also heard with when it comes to Baron Corbin that he's potentially Danhausen's mystery, whatever it is he's doing on SmackDown right now.
Would this be a good spot for a guy like Rusev to step up again?
Maybe. We have seen that match before.
Yes,
and we all know that Rusev is very much waiting in the wings of this upcoming Intercontinental title match, as there is a good chance he wants whoever wins. But then again, so does the guy who beat him last week in Javon Evans.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do we even have to go to AAA? Could be somebody from NXT who shows up. Could be somebody from SmackDown who comes over. Could be somebody on Raw who we haven't seen in forever.
I was gonna say, could this be a great time to see the War Raiders back?
Right?
I mean, Oba Femi did destroy the War Raiders when he made his debut.
Mm-hmm.
Would this be the time to see the return of the Creed brothers?
No, Beth said they were in Mexico.
But still, they can come back for a one-off.
You would come all the way back to North Carolina for Oba Femi?
Yes.
I'd be drinking those cervezas right at a resort. I would not entertain that at all.
I don't think they're finding Chad Gable at a resort.
I said cerveza. They probably got lost on the founding tour.
Touché.
And just said, "We're good," but in a different language.
I mean, for all we know, this could be just some local talent that they bring in. Maybe it's James Ellsworth.
Hey, any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
Yep.
At first thought, I thought my whole red, white, and black color thing was going to go down. But I saw pink on Oba Femi. So.
Whoa.
Wow. I did not have that on my bingo card.
Brock Lesnar has interrupted the Oba Femi challenge and has F5'd Oba Femi multiple times. And the crowd is going crazy.
And what did I say at WrestleMania? That was not his retirement.
I don't know. I wasn't with you guys on that day. I don't know what you said.
That's what I said.
You did. And there is the fourth F5 from Brock Lesnar to Oba Femi.
As Brock issues the warning to Oba, stay down. As Brock has shocked the world, and Oba Femi included. I don't think anybody expected Brock Lesnar, the best Oba Femi.
He was not on my bingo card tonight at all.
Brock Lesnar leaves Monday Night Raw in a state of shock after he not only delivers multiple F5s to Oba Femi, but a virtual F5 to the entire WWE universe.
Yes. Brock Lesnar leaving the crowd excited and jumping for more.
And got the black screen, and then we go to Byron Saxton, and I'm thinking, hey, Byron, there's 3 men on here that probably don't care about you speaking.
Yeah, that's a bit of a, yeah. You're a bit of a downer there, Byron.
Yeah. So he might be shopping for attention. You could be shopping for merchandise. So check this out.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
And ladies and gentlemen, once again, turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. And head over to our shop, powered by redbubble.com. Support your favorite shows and your favorite podcasters. Wear what we wear. All of the proceeds come back into our studios to bring you a better experience. And if you buy something from the shop, shout us out, send us a pic. We'll give you a shout out live on the air during one of our many, many shows. All of that and more, turnbucklestudios.org.
And now look at what Byron Saxton just did. He's trying to create some tension in the women of the Judgment Day. It's like he just doesn't learn.
As the Judgment Day get cut off, and we are reliving what just happened here as Brock Lesnar from behind jumping Oba Femi and hitting 4 F5s on him.
Yeah, I'm truly at the point now where there is a timed amount on those segments, and if you don't finish, well, you just get cut off.
It used to be when we'd see those interviews, we'd see a 3-minute time a countdown on the corner of the screen. So I'm wondering if that is their allotted time for those promos. But what we did see during that promo was Raquel and Roxanne lay out the challenge to Bailey and Lyra. So I'm going to assume that that's going to be taking place next week.
And Adam Pearce is getting everyone that he can to search the building.
And he just asked for Paul Heyman, and there's Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman says he's retired. Adam Pearce does not believe that Brock Lesnar is retired. But Paul Heyman has some paperwork.
It's a contract for Brock and Oba at Clash in Italy.
Is that Brock maybe coming back to do one more international show? Then, as Paul Heyman did say, he's retired.
Well, thing is, I don't know if there really is a final date on Brock Lesnar. And maybe everything we're hearing is just speculation.
I mean, Brock just pulled a Roddy Piper on us. Just when you think we have the answers, Brock changed the question.
Right?
Well, we do get our women's tag team match official, and Paige and Brie will go up against Irresistible Forces for those titles. Becky Lynch against Sol Ruca in a non-title match. And then we also will see Penta go one-on-one with Ethan Page for the Intercontinental Championship. Meechin, Jade Cargill, and B-Fab go up against Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte Flair in 6-woman tag team. And then we will also see the World Tag Team Championship as Logan Paul and Austin Theory defend their titles against the Street Profits. So there you go. 5 matches for Saturday night's main event.
And
you know what I'm happy about this? I'm happy to see that there's more women's matches being featured on this show than men's matches.
Yes, and a start time of 8 p.m. Eastern for Saturday night's main event.
And we will be live with the PLE Patrol, so make sure that you come and say hello. And if you're willing to tap in, we will give you all the entertainment we can provide. Angelo Dawkins now has approached Seth Rollins.
As it is
As
main
we are
event
setting
time.
up for our main event matchup, Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory. Seth Rollins appreciates Angelo Dawkins for coming to speak to him.
Yes.
He apologizes for what happened. What are your guys' thoughts on what we just heard between Dawkins and Rollins?
I think Dawkins was just trying to be the bigger man there because what we saw before that was Montez Ford saying, you got to focus on this tag match, but for this situation, I'm not going to be a part of it, and just walk off.
And we know that at some point with this match, Paul Heyman earlier in the night telling Braun Breaker, you know where he'll be, you know when he'll be there. We've seen LA Knight get in Seth's face. We've seen this situation with Angelo Dawkins. Does this somehow devolve? Do we get Joe Hendry involvement in this? I know we're potentially speculating on the return of Bronson Reed. Does this break down and become a massive 8-man tag?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I'm not gonna say no that we don't see Bronson Reed, because if he returns, he still gets overshadowed by what we saw with Brock Lesnar there.
Wouldn't say it's overshadowed, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to find something that you'll talk more about than the return of Brock Lesnar.
Right.
But at the same time, though, I have to ask, because the one thing we know about Seth Rollins is that he is someone that has been known to put a plan together. Whether that plan was to bring in Paul Heyman and have Paul Heyman cost Roman Reigns and CM Punk the main event spot at WrestleMania in a triple threat match and create what we now know as the Vision. What happens if Seth Rollins has both Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford by his side, and the ruse of him and Montez not getting along just to show the Vision that they're in charge when really they're not? Would you guys be surprised if what we find out, Seth Rollins and the Street Profits were always good from the get-go, and this is just another route or ruse that Seth Rollins is known for pulling?
It is something that we have seen time and again, where the superstar shows us what they want us to see and believe what they want us to believe. So I'm with you there. But let's not forget that Seth Rollins' opponent tonight, Austin Theory, he has history with, as well as mentoring Austin Theory during the pandemic. And is there something there that Seth can do to break through to Theory?
And when Austin Theory comes down, there you can see somewhat of some resemblance with the gear.
And as well, I know it's been a long time, but would this be a situation where you could finally play off of that history and the breakup of A-Town Down Under and have Grayson Waller come out as an ally for Seth Rollins?
Yeah, to me, that's the big question of what you do with Grayson Waller, because he is no longer going to be a part of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. They are no longer with the company. Do we see a repackaged Grayson Waller?
Right.
Do we see a more serious version of Grayson Waller?
And I won't lie, I'm just envisioning it in my head. I kind of like the pairing of Grayson Waller and Seth Rollins. Because if you look at, like you mentioned, the relationship between Austin Theory and Seth Rollins, but let's not forget that also during that pandemic, there was a relationship with Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins. And look what that did for both of their careers in the long run.
And there is Seth taken to the skies, jumping the gun before the bell even rings to take out Logan Paul and Austin Theory.
Well, I think that's the right move, too, from Seth Rollins. He needs to be kind of jumping the gun because he's 1-on-2, as we see Logan Paul accompanying Austin Theory to the ring. We do know that Seth Rollins is facing off against one half of the World Tag Team Champions who are set to face the Street Profits. So maybe, just maybe, we will see Montez Ford make Seth Rollins part of his business. But I think it's almost guaranteed we will see Braun Breaker in some way, shape, or form tonight.
Yes.
I mean, you got to think that somewhere Seth Rollins had to have been watching when Paul Heyman gave out like the plans, if you want to call it that, to Braun Breaker. So this is definitely one of those moments where Seth has to keep his head on a swivel for sure.
Yes. And as we've seen before, and I'm going to go to Paul Heyman here, we saw it with the Bloodline where he would only accompany Roman and not accompany the Usos to the ring. He's doing the same thing in the Vision and only accompanying Braun Breaker and letting Logan Paul and Austin Theory come out by themselves.
But for the most part, Paul Heyman isn't someone who gets physically active
No.
when he's coming down with anyone. He doesn't get really active with Braun Breaker. So when there's already the strength and numbers for the World Tag Team champions here, there's nothing Paul Heyman can really do that really the other man in Logan Paul can't do.
Yeah, I got to think that this is more like Paul Heyman having confidence in his team to get the job done.
Seth Rollins going for a boot on the apron, gets caught and has his boot shoved into the ring post by Austin Theory.
And I think the story is going to be that ankle coming up right now.
Bobby Stats going in saying, I'm interested to see what WWE does with Grayson Waller.
I mean, we haven't seen Grayson on TV since the New Day's release, so I think a repackage is definitely going to be taking place with him.
Yeah. Would this be the ideal time to maybe have Grayson Waller go back to NXT, revamp his game, and maybe get a run with a singles title?
I don't think he's going to go back to NXT. I think one of the misconceptions about NXT is it's for the reason people go there is either A, to help out the talent down there, like we've seen with Bayley from time to time, but what we've seen with like Charlotte and Alexa, they're there to kind of help certain acts down there, even Natalia. But for the most part, it's there for developmental purposes, and usually the goal is to get people ready for Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Oh.
And as we've seen time and time again, that vicious side of Austin Theory coming out now. I think it's safe to say gone are the days there where we used to see Austin Theory just be very, very cocky.
Yep.
About what he's doing in the ring.
Well, definitely more aggressiveness, and that's something that we saw right when he was unveiled as that masked man in the newest part of the Vision. I think this is something that, as Austin Theory just gets older and more mature, we will see a slower, more methodical approach to his matches. I said it earlier when we were talking about the pandemic and the relationship between Seth and Austin Theory. If you look at the gear here between the two men, they're not similar in this way of what they look like, but they are similar in kind of the way that they're made.
Yeah.
Whether you have that one kind of color of the gear, and then you have these block type features on them.
Yeah, and you notice that Theory's is a little bit lighter and Seth is the straight matte black.
Yeah, very different in looks, but very similar in style is what I'm seeing here.
They both, I believe, have that belt around their waist as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Seth Rollins' first match on Raw since his injury late last year.
Yes. He did
9
say
months.
earlier 9 months.
And this is where I'm going to go to Bobby Stats if you're still watching. Who did he wrestle on that match?
Well, you got to think that he had a match for the title, correct? Because he was champion before he went out with that injury.
He got injured at Crown Jewel in the Crown Jewel Championship match, which I do believe that he won and then was taken out the next night on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe he defeated Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Oh, my Netflix glitched out there for a second.
Yep.
The one thing I got to say about tonight's episode of Raw is that every match has been pretty solid.
Oh, absolutely. I can't even pick a match of the night here yet tonight.
I think my if I had to pick an awkward moment of the night, it probably was that Whataburger segment with Otis and Tozawa.
Yeah.
It just seemed out of place, especially after seeing Brie and Paige talk about their match.
Saw an attempt to hit a curb stomp, but Seth Rollins was unable to go for it and showed a lot of signs of hesitation given the damage that Austin Theory is doing to the ankle.
Yeah.
The lower leg of Seth Rollins.
And what a blue thunder bomb there from Austin Theory and transitioning into the half crab out of the pinfall attempt.
As we are seeing now, Austin Theory set up Seth Rollins for what looks like to be a stomp.
Yes, and Seth explodes with that clothesline. Oh, is he going to go for a curb stomp from the second rope? Austin Theory using the ref as a distraction to allow Logan Paul to push Seth Rollins off the rope.
Yeah, but that wasn't enough to take Rollins out, as Austin Theory did attempt the stomp.
And it just shows you the advantage of the two men for Austin Theory and Logan Paul. It'll be very intriguing to see if Seth Rollins can use his experience and his knowledge to get that advantage, similar to what we saw Finn Balor do earlier in the night.
Yeah.
Or will we see the tag team champions come together and actually do what not a lot of people do, and that is defeat Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw?
And Logan Paul giving Theory the brass knucks.
And once again, Logan up there distracting the official. This has become the theme of the match so far, guys.
Yes, and Seth able to hit that super kick, steal the brass knuckles.
Oh, look at this. Well, I thought the referee was going to call the disqualification. What a beautiful roll through into the category.
And Seth Rollins picks up the victory and now getting mauled by Logan Paul.
He doesn't look like a victor right now.
As now Logan Paul puts down that after match beatdown.
And here comes Angelo Dawkins.
Yeah. And even though Montez Ford might not want to help Seth Rollins, you do have to understand that if you allow the Vision to take out Seth Rollins, you are taking a member who could help you minimize a Vision interference in your tag team title match at Saturday night's main event.
And here comes Montez now.
And Montez hitting the DX chop there.
Montez Ford goes airborne as he takes out both members of the World Tag Team Champions. Now looks like he has some words to say to Angelo Dawkins.
Oh, and here comes Braun Breaker. And Montez Ford taking the spear.
And then Breaker hitting an F5 of his own on Angelo Dawkins.
That was like an F5 into a stomach breaker, dude.
It was just a fireman's carry to a gut buster there.
Seth Rollins once again getting speared by Braun Breaker.
And the words of Paul Heyman speak true here, as Braun Breaker was able to pick his prey in Seth Rollins by ease. And he didn't have to do it in a match.
What has Braun Breaker got planned here? Oh, Adam Pearce trying to step in.
As the attack continues, Braun Breaker will not allow the officials and the authorities on Raw, including Adam Pearce, keep him back. So whether it's the Vision or Jabob Fatu, Adam Pearce, let's just say he earns his paycheck every Monday night.
Yes, as the Vision are making
Yeah.
their way back up to the ring, or up away from the ring. And
I've
Seth
come to the
Rollins with
conclusion
three.
that I don't envy Adam Pearce's job.
Seth Rollins has that crazed look in his eye, and Paul Heyman meets his charges at the top of the ring.
Once we get the graphics, we find out that Raw is going to be in Columbus, Ohio next week. Raw is officially done, and it's in the books. We got our finale for Saturday night's main event. We got a little bit more information for Clash in Italy.
Right?
But boys, as we let everybody know that the best way to get a hold of us is by turnbucklestudios.org/hosts, where just a click of a button, you can go directly to our socials. Let's go around the horn, starting with you, OM Dynamic. What was your takeaway of tonight's Monday Night Raw?
Anarchy. We started off with Jabob Fatu and Roman Reigns. We get that Brock Lesnar sneak attack on Oba Femi, and then we close with what we just closed with. This was pure anarchy. We got that face-to-face confrontation again from Sol Ruca and Becky Lynch in the ring with a challenge made for Saturday night's main event. And the discourse around the women's tag team championships. So it was, anarchy and chaos.
Chris Best, what was your takeaways from tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw?
Just the overall show tonight. I liked how everything just flowed. I liked how we started it off with a bang with that street fight match there, and then I don't know. I just like how everything flowed. But the one thing that just kind of irked me a little bit was, and I'll say it again, I think it was just that placement for the Whataburger had there. It seemed out of place to me, and I could have done with that as like a promotional, like a commercial piece that we've been seeing all through the night, and I would have been fine with that. But all in all, tonight was a great show. I really, really enjoyed it, and it's just made me look forward to this Saturday for Saturday night's main event and Clash in Italy.
That's right. Yeah, and I think that's kind of what I enjoy about it, is we got that kind of conclusion, as this was Raw's go home to Saturday night's main event that you can watch this Saturday. We also got a little bit more understanding about Clash in Italy. It just continues to showcase how crazy the women's tag team division is, as now Raw introduces not just the Judgment Day, but also Lyra and Bayley. I'm going to say this. I don't envy being a women's tag team champion, because you look at what they have to go through since WrestleMania, Fatal 4-Way, multiple matches just to defend. Then you go Friday, you defend your titles. You go to Monday, defend your titles. You're going to defend them yet again on Saturday. And then you have another team in Bayley and Lyra willing to go. And let's not even talk about the additional tag teams on SmackDown that are saying we want a shot as well. Just a lot of work and a lot of bumps and bruises along the way. But that's the chaos that Monday Night Raw brings, and well, we're just glad we're not living in it. We just get to watch it. So on that note, OM Dynamic, take us away.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please always remember the world is better with you in it. From all of us here at the Raw Patrol and Turnbuckle Studios, to those of you out there wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.